Donald Trump loves leverage. More than closing deals, he likes controlling the terms. And Trump has a big test coming up with China. The trade war is escalating. Both sides are ramping up tariffs and building pressure. And this is happening just days before a possible meeting between Donald Trump and Xi Jinping in South Korea later this month. As always, Trump wants to enter the room with an upper hand. His Treasury Secretary has laid out the strategy. That's Scott Bessent. That's the Treasury Secretary. Bessent says, and I'm quoting, the U.S. expects global support. Support from Europe, from Asian democracies, and from India. That's what Scott Bessent has said. The U.S. expects countries like India to back Washington against Beijing. In fact, he has framed it as China versus the world, and he says America's partners should rally around Trump.
The Chinese economy is doing very poorly, and maybe they're trying to take focus off of that. Two, China, as opposed to the United States is pushing for peace in the world. China is financing war. China purchases of Russian oil is financing the Russian war machine. They purchase Iranian oil, and we have been calling them out on that. So maybe it was to distract from that. And three, maybe it was a mistaken attempt to try to gain leverage before the two leaders meet in Korea in October. And I can tell you, trying to get leverage in front of a meeting with Donald Trump is a bad idea.
It's hard to miss the hubris. The Americans started the trade war. They imposed 50% tariffs on India, which is the highest in the world. They publicly attacked India while India consistently and constructively engaged in talks. And now the same Americans want India's support to end their deadlock with China. New Delhi has not issued a formal response, but there is pressure from both sides. Reports say China has also made demands. This is about rare earth shipments, the minerals that you need to build gadgets. China supplies most of them, and it now wants guarantees from India. What kind of guarantees? That India won't supply these minerals and magnets to the US. That's the promise that China wants. Use the supplies for domestic production. Do not share them with the United States. Another assurance that Beijing wants is this: India should not use these supplies to make weapons. Remember, rare earth magnets are critical components. They are used in electronics, automobiles, and weapon systems. Some Indian companies have complied with China's demand. They have submitted what is called an end-user certificate. It says they will be the end users. Plus, these companies have said that they won't use Chinese rare earths for weapons programs. So here's the big picture. On one side, America wants backing. On the other, China wants control, and caught in the middle is India. Neither side is ready to compromise. They're leaning on their partners, hoping to get an advantage. Meanwhile, the tariffs are climbing. China has introduced a slew of new taxes and restrictions on the US. It is taxing American ships at Chinese ports. It has imposed restrictions on rare earths, and it is investigating American companies like Qualcomm. Meanwhile, Trump is making new threats. He says he may block cooking oil exports to China. This is retaliation for Beijing's actions. China has stopped buying American soybeans, so Trump wants to hit back by blocking cooking oil supplies to China. Trump says China's actions are deliberate. They're meant to hurt US farmers. Remember, soybean is a crucial crop, especially for Midwest American states that back Trump. So China's moves are basically hurting Trump's voter base. The US president is also going after Chinese airlines. He says if they're traveling to or from America, they should not fly over Russia. Right now, Chinese planes take a shorter route. They fly through the Russian airspace. But Trump wants them to stop doing that. He says it's unfair for American airlines. American airlines fly the longer route to avoid Russia. And this gives Chinese carriers an edge in time and cost. So the US is planning this new rule. Of course, China is not happy about it. 6 airlines have written to the US government. They say this move will raise ticket prices. It will increase travel time. Some flights could be delayed by up to 3 hours. But Washington refuses to budge. And this trend, this hardening of positions, is expected to continue. Ahead of Trump's meeting with Xi, he wants to build leverage. But at this rate, It is looking less like a negotiation and more like a showdown.
Want the facts?
The latest developments?
News that gets straight to the point.
Well, we've got all three just for you. This is Firstpost Live, a brand new show, your window into what really matters.
Don't miss it.